Next video will be out a week from today. So I was to make sure that we're doing it. Saturdays are our groove. We're gonna even try and speed it up a little bit more. Thanks again. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned.
We've been driving around, singing songs way too loud because we wanna. Picking up our love friends, fill up the car till it bends because we wanna. Yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our zone.
So good. You want one more? Big win. You hungry?
No, don't give him any.
Oh man. So we actually just got back from Chick-fil-A and we wanted to break into the whole topic of this video. I'm gonna set you guys down right here. The whole topic of this video, I'm almost sunk into this. Winnie, you keep sitting in this chair, man.
It's Winnie's chair.
So the topic of this video, we want to talk to you guys all about progressive overloading and how we actually go about it on a week-to-week basis and then on a daily basis.
Yeah, so you are going to be demonstrating how you progress a bench press, and then I'm going to be demonstrating how I progress a squat. These are both movements that we have been working on specifically. All about those chest gains, all about these booty gains.
And then we're also throwing in 2 accessory movements, so one for Kay, one for me. Yeah, let's jump right into this. We're going to overlay some clips and talk all about it.
Yep, we'll walk you through it.
Yeah. Alrighty, so welcome. We are going to go ahead and jump right into it. So I know it's been about a month since we have put out our last video. So we've just been trying to be a little bit more consistent on all of our platforms. We've been trying to make a little bit more quality of content for you guys rather than rushing, getting something together and putting it out right then and there. What'd you say? Okay.
Yeah, just getting things out just to get them out. Again, just really making that quality content with solid information in it too.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. We're going to break right into this video. As you guys can see, I'm in my second warm-up set as of right now. With these warm-up sets, why I'm benching so quickly is not just to, do it for aesthetic reasons. It's more so to help prime my nervous system. So when I have a little bit lighter weights, it's very easy to go a little bit slower and to be a little bit more, on the lazy side, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm going a little bit quicker instead is to remind myself that as the weights get heavier and heavier, I need to be just as explosive. Just like if, you were a track athlete or something of the sort, you wouldn't warm up super duper slow and then expect to sprint right after. You would try to prime yourself and making sure that with your sprints that you're practicing your warm-ups the same way so you can still have that explosiveness. So here, besides me yapping to Kay before I got into my actual set, probably talking something about the camera or whatnot.
I think it was about Wiley.
Oh, probably.
Our cheerleader.
Our cheerleader. So I'm breaking into 3 sets of 8 reps of my 1 rep max. This is 75% of my 1 rep max, So I had honestly probably taken a little bit of a hiatus right before this. Actually, I know I did. This was a little bit of time ago, but yeah, I was getting really crazy busy with training and just work in general. And so it kept me out of the gym a little bit. I must have hurt my hand. Oh yeah, I remember. That was right. The way I was gripping the bar was bothering my wrist. So we're showing you all 3 sets of my reps. All 3 sets and my reps. Yeah, for this round. Just so that you can kind of get a gauge of how, from set to set, one, I improved a little bit on my second set from my first set. Not just due to my grip, but more than likely due to my muscles being a little bit more warm to the actual barbell, and being able to move the weights a little bit better. So as I got going, of course I was starting to feel a little bit of fatigue. My average rest time between sets, I would say, was anywhere from about 3 to maybe 4.5 minutes. And as I kept progressing, by the time I got to my very last set, which you guys are watching now, I felt like I only had maybe a rep or two left in my tank, and that's exactly where I wanted to be by the end of this. It wasn't the most strenuous thing that I've done, but it wasn't the easiest as well. So again, this helped prime my nervous system a little bit more for later in the week. And of course, with the bench press, I'm trying to develop my chest a little bit more. So next we're going to go ahead and break into Kay's squats.
All right, so here I am going to be showing the progression over the course of about a week of my squat. So for me, this is something I've really been working on. Brandon and I even took it way back to the basics. And, you know, for a good portion of time, just used literally the bar, focusing on things like hand placement, feet placement, driving my knees out, the depth of my squat, which is something that I'm still very much working on. All these things I'm still working on. Placement of the bar as well. That's
you went
another
from
thing.
A high bar squat to not necessarily a low bar squat, but kind of like halfway in between.
Yeah. And I'm continuously trying to work on that. I'm so thankful that our gym has great barbells, so that's something that I can utilize as well. Another thing, too, is that when I used to warm up, I didn't really do a warm-up. I'd be like, set 1, that's literally set 1. Set 2, literally set 2. Set 3, which is technically my first working set, I'd be like, all right, set 3, we're done. Let's go home. So for me, even just those simple progressions is really making a big, big difference in becoming a stronger weightlifter. So here, this is my first working set. So I'm going to be doing 3 sets of 10 reps at 71% of my 1 rep max. And this is with my old 1 rep max. Mm-hmm. And actually since then, I have surpassed that.
Yeah, you took your 1 rep max for a ride for, what, 3 sets of 5?
3 sets of 5. So,
I took it for a ride.
Oh my God. So clearly, probably not my true 1 rep max after we did, and that was even before we had really made a lot of these alterations to my squat in general. Mm-hmm. But for me, really just focusing on, and I know that some of these things sound silly, but they seriously make such a world of difference. Oh, here comes my cheerleader.
Oh, he's giving me a pat on the butt, so I keep going.
Thanks, buddy. He says, Mom, stop taking a break. Let's go. Yeah, we take them into the gym with us. But again, so focusing just on some of those very, very basic things, like not moving my hands, not moving my feet, focusing on the depth of my squat. So those are all things that I really, really am trying very hard to work on. As well as, like we kind of talked about, placement of the bar. So like Brandon said, I was doing more of a high bar squat. Yeah. Whereas now I am trying to gradually lower the bar a little bit more down my back. So I went ahead and threw my shirt back on just to give me just a teeny bit of extra cushion, since I'm not used to that bar being on my back in that capacity.
Wiley's really your cheerleader. He's like, come on, let's get to work.
He's like, come on, Mom, stop looking at yourself. So yeah, so this is, again, just really focusing on driving those knees out, focusing on that depth of the squat.
Which is something, even in this video, you progress with. You guys will see that as we go along.
Yeah. So like even that one right there, I could definitely go a little bit lower. Let's see how the depth is there. Yep, I could definitely go a little bit lower. My knees are still a little shaky. So really focusing on driving those knees out as I push the weight out.
Yeah, and one thing to mention right now too, and I don't think I mentioned this yet about my clips, but Kay is working in a hypertrophy range. So by doing 3 sets of 10, she's trying to emphasize a little bit more of muscle gaining. So right now she's in a recompositioning phase where she's not necessarily eating more, but not necessarily eating less either. She's right at a maintenance level, so her weight's maintaining. But in the gym, we are trying to encourage a little bit more muscle growth so that as it sounds, her composition will recomp and it will change, or I guess I was going to say reverse, but it's not going to reverse. It's going to just differ a little bit. Spots before where she maybe didn't have as much muscle mass, she's trying to push it, and in particular with her squats, that's more of her glutes and her
Try to
quadriceps.
build that booty.
Yeah, all about her booty gains.
All about those booty gains.
But yeah, and then hopefully as well, by being in this recompositioning phase, eating a little bit more protein and monitoring her carbs and her fats, hopefully as a result, she can then shave off a little bit of body fat in areas that are somewhat unwanted. So we're going to mention more about this in our next video where we talk about nutrition.
And how it plays such a factor into reaching those different goals as well.
Yeah, and so with that one, we'll talk a little bit more about that recomp. But here we go. So this is actually day 2 of the week. This was a midday workout. As you can see, the sun is out. It's not
crisp light shining on you.
Yeah, so I threw my belt right here. I was doing 4 sets of 5 reps at 83% of my 1 rep max. So it was pretty heavy. This is 280 pounds right here on the bar. So I was struggling. My hips are coming up a little bit. So Kay works on her depth with her squat. I've been working a little bit more on trying to keep my hips down on my bench press. But as that weight gets heavy, sometimes, man, you gotta get it up. Yeah.
All right, so here this is day 2 for me. So here we were working on more of some speed work. So doing 7 sets of 3 reps at 78% of my 1 rep max. Again, my old 1 rep max. So here, again, still really focusing on that depth and driving through.
Yeah, so we only got 1 clip of that day, which is completely cool. We wanted to keep it kind of short and sweet. So this is actually day 3 now. So now I was working anywhere from 6 to 8 reps of 77% of my 1 rep max. Not going to lie, I felt super strong this day. My nutrition had been on point that week. And so my macros were on fleek, I guess is what you could say.
Do they even say that anymore?
I don't know, but
you do.
Yeah, so I actually stretched it to 8 reps of my 8 reps this time, and at 77%. So, okay, back to you.
Yeah, so here we are back to focusing on more of that hypertrophy training, doing 3 sets of 8 reps at a 71% of, again, my old 1 rep max.
Your glutes grew in 2 days.
You don't think it's maybe just my pants?
I don't know, maybe both.
Why, does my butt look bigger?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, so yeah, so as I am kind of going back to more reps before, when I was doing some of that speed work, it was taking shorter rest breaks in between and just really hopping back on that weight to push through the movement. So again, here, really focusing on placing those feet, driving out through those knees, and again, just focusing on that depth. That's something that I am always constantly working on.
Right. Even your toes, they were coming up a little bit in the first rep of this one. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to keep your feet grounded.
I feel like
on the
I can
ground.
even lift my chin. There it goes.
Yeah. And this should be something to mention. You don't really prefer wearing your belt as much, only when you go really, really heavy.
Yeah.
Just because you were having some lower back issues for a while, and even though a belt kind of helps keep everything nice and tight, for you, it was actually bothering your back a little bit. So
yeah, it was.
All right, so now we are at our most recent clips. This is what we went through earlier today. So I'm getting into 3 sets of 10 reps, all right? And I'm back to it. Now I'm at 75% of my 1 rep max. Now I started off this entire week at 75% of my 1 rep max, and I was going for 3 sets of 8. Now jumping back into it with 3 sets of 10, again, like I said, I started to feel strong. I started to push the weights. Actually, this wasn't the same week. This was now next week. Yeah, so I almost forgot. But anyways, so I'm pushing the weights up, trying to make sure that I'm staying explosive all throughout this. The fatigue was real towards the end of it.
Look at you. You look tired.
Yeah,
right there.
I was. I mean, I can't even believe I forgot. This was not all a part of the same week.
The first 3 were last week.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is my second set today, and talking a little bit more to you folks about the overall training pattern, you can probably start to see that we're doing what's called an undulation process. So undulating just means changing. For the most part, we're undulating our percentages from day to day, and then our rep schemes. So for the most part, I'm working through hypertrophy reps, anywhere from 6 to 12 total reps for my main lifts. My main lift being my bench press, my squat. I actually switched from doing a deadlift recently to doing good mornings, and actually even more recently, I decided to shift from squatting to lunging a little bit more, just because I was getting a lot of hip pain with my squats. But anyways, so second set of my bench press, we're undulating not only the percentages, but we're undulating the rep schemes within certain modalities. So the modality being hypertrophy, I'm wanting to build muscle. I'm working anywhere from, in these clips, 8 reps up to 10 reps. I got my 5 reps on some days. Now the 5 reps, the 4 sets of 5 that you guys saw me doing earlier, that was not technically within the hypertrophy range. I was trying to work a little bit more of strength sets. So the goal is to progressively overload, to progressively put more weight on the bar, progressively being able to handle more reps. So I throw in one strength day out of the week in order to kind of keep my nervous system going and tell myself that, hey, I'm not just going for reps here. I want to be able to add weight to the bar as I go for reps. Okay, you ran by quick in that clip. Wiley was trying to get after me. So
he was trying to cheer you on.
Yeah, he's trying to cheer me on. Man, I'm so tired from this workout. That's why I feel like I'm like, I remember what day it was, blah, blah, blah. But, all right, so this is my last set. Again, trying to stay super explosive with the barbell. I felt way stronger today than I did earlier last week when I was going for the same weight, and that's how I was able to push it all the way up to 10 reps. So, yeah, this was really, really cool. And like I mentioned, we're trying to undulate. We are daily undulating our rep schemes and then daily undulating our percentages. Now, there's a lot that goes into daily undulation. Remember, we are daily undulating within the hypertrophy modality for the most part right now for both of us. And then we throw in Kay, her speed works, and then me, my strength work. So, Kay, take it over.
Yep, so this is my last one that I'm going to be showing you. So here I'm going to be doing 3 sets of 5. Again at 78%. So whereas before I did 7 sets of 3 at 78%, now bumping, some of those reps up within the sets themselves. So being able to handle more weight on the bar for more reps, essentially, within one set. So for me, this is a different angle than we've ever done. So again, you can even kind of see where I'm placing that bar. So before I was even higher on my neck. So bring it down, and I could even continue to bring it down even lower as I continue to progress in my overall movement. Do you see why this tail?
Yeah, he's cheerleading. Winston is always on the other side of the gym. So
he's usually bugging somebody else or eating toys.
Likes being everybody else's cheerleader except for ours. He's usually asking us when we're going to leave. So
yeah.
But yeah, this is your second set of the same weight. So you can even see her foot placement a little bit. Yep. She goes ahead. She tries to make sure they're planted. Trying to really get comfortable with it. And depth is still something that we're working
like that one right there. Ooh, a little lower, sis. You got it. But yeah, I used to reposition my feet all the time, like literally between each rep, and I would take these big long breaks, or just kind of chill, stand there, and you'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
So yeah. So again, for me, it's just really focusing on moving the weight, being able to progress the weight like Brandon was talking about, and really just focusing on my form. There's Winnie.
Oh, yep. See? Hey, why don't you hurry up? I'm trying to leave.
All right, Gwen. And I know that this sounds so silly, but also me being able to make sure that I count correctly on my reps, because sometimes I'm like, okay, focus on your knees, focus on your feet, focus on the depth, don't move your hands, and then I'm like, wait a sec. How many did I just do?
Actually, in one of the clips earlier, you were supposed to be doing 3 sets of 8. You did 3 sets of 7 because you were so focused on everything else.
Yeah.
But it's A-okay. So this is Kay's last working set of her main lifts, and we're about to break into some accessory lifts right here. So we're gonna flash back to day 1 of last week, and I'm doing a chest supported reverse fly.
Look at that booty.
Oh. It's a reverse fly. We're focusing on the shoulders.
Oh, okay.
So I've been playing around with the grip of my reverse flies a little bit. I've also been doing them chest supported, mostly to relieve a little bit of pressure from my lower back and to really try to put a little bit more stress on my rear delts. Rear delts, if you've tried to grow them before, you know they're super tough to grow. And yeah, just really trying to make sure that I'm focusing on the form, taking it nice and slow. But again, working within those hypertrophy rep ranges and making sure that I'm driving the weights up towards the ceiling. So as I mentioned, this is now today that I was doing these reverse flies. Changed up my grip. Yep, Wiley the cheerleader back again. Changed up my grip just a little bit. He had to make sure that I was getting my reps in the right way.
He literally just circled you.
Yeah, he was like, come on now. And then Winston bumped into the camera right quick.
Yeah, he laid down.
So, yeah, he's talking to Kay about when he bumping into the camera. So,
okay, so along with trying to get some of those booty gains, I have also been trying to grow my shoulders a little bit. So,
we're both about the shoulder gains in this household. Jones' household, we're going to have boulder shoulders.
Boulder shoulders?
Yeah, boulder shoulders. Oh, look at him in the background.
Yeah.
He's sneaking.
Okay, so here I am doing a lateral raise. For me, really trying to focus on 1, not bouncing my knees, 2, not breaking at the wrist, and really focusing on using my actual shoulders for this shoulder movement.
Yeah, and actually, you know what? Side random note, we got a new camera between last week and this week. So, yeah, this is your second set of your lateral raise, and look how much better it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And again, it goes back to the simplest of things, just working on your form. So for me, while I might lose count of the rep that I'm on, I am focused on my form. And for me, that has truly made such a big difference in continuing to grow every single day to be a stronger, better weightlifter.
Yeah, so again, Wiley the cheerleader. No, again, we were just working, trying to make sure that we're getting everything in. And yeah, undulation, that's how we do our progressive overloading. And thank you guys. Well, thank you guys again for tuning in to this video. This is the second part of our series on how to work out. We have one more coming up for you guys. We're going to talk about how nutrition factors into working out as a whole. That's pretty much it.
Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to like this video.
Comment as well.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to see next.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we'll do more series like this. Feel free to comment below on a series you would like to see or if there's a topic that you want us to talk about, and we'll do it.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.